Hello, this is Deborah Yao with Black Education TV. I'm going to be attempting to give you a word of encouragement while at the same time trying to relate to you the seriousness of the situation that we're in and what we are facing. And I'm going to title this Operating in Faith and Not Fear. There's something that needs to be understood about faith. The scripture tells us that faith is the substance for things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But it also tells us that faith without works is dead. Okay? In other words, we cannot have faith in a particular thing and don't operate in some type of works or some type of effort. I think effort is a better word because sometimes we think we think of the works that the scripture talks about. I want to say effort, some type of movement, okay? Faith without movement or effort on your part is dead faith, okay? But there's a reason why we need faith in this day and time, because we need to operate in faith and not fear, because when you look at the things that we are facing, the things that we are facing can cause fear, but we need to erase that fear and operate in faith, okay? And when you do that, when you operate in faith, you operate in movement, okay? Effort. There has to be effort, positive effort, okay? And so what I want to say as it relates to the things we are facing, we know just from looking at a number of different things and hearing a number of people talk and commentate about this, that, and the other, understanding the position of the American dollar right now, how weak it is and it's weakening day by day. When we look at these things in their entirety and we look at our current situation, where are we today? What is your situation today? Today, you're alive. Okay, if you're listening to my video, you got electricity of some sort, or you have some type of handheld device that has you connected to something. So right now you're good. Okay. We know not what tomorrow brings or what it holds. So what we do in each day will determine how our day goes tomorrow for the most part. Okay. We know that there are unforeseen things that can take place and happen to any of us. Yah forbids anything happens that will render you helpless. Okay. But as long as you're not helpless, as long as you have blood running warm in your veins and you have functioning limbs, there is work to do. Faith without works is dead. So there's no point in having faith, saying that you have faith for this, that, and the other, if you don't want to put forth any effort. If your faith is that someone else is going to come and bail you out, or somebody's going to whisk you away into the sky or something of that nature, you're in a very bad place right now. Your faith should not be on what others can do for you, although that can play a part in it, meaning the Most High can place it upon the hearts of others to be a blessing to you when you are moving in faith. I want to make mention of a brother that I mentioned before. This brother actually reached out to us on Facebook after seeing a video where I addressed a comment of his. He's a brother who has a lot of land. And he says, for some reason, the sisters just ain't interested. The brother got land. He's operating a full farm. Now, I was prompted to kind of look through some of his work on Facebook, okay, looking at some of the images of his farm. And one thing that I noticed was that because of the work that he's doing and because he's putting himself out there with his works, with his efforts, there was a company, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, brother, because it was posted publicly on your Facebook, and it was a great testimony. But anyway, a company donated a food trailer to him that he's able to use on his farm in a magnificent way. Because he's putting forth the work and the effort, a company donated this trailer to him. I forget what he says he's going to use the trailer for, but I think it was previously an office trailer, and he's going to use it for something. I can't remember, but something very useful. Okay. And so I said that to say this: because of his efforts and others know of his efforts, they felt the need to donate something very valuable and useful towards his efforts. So faith without works is dead. If others don't see you moving about, they won't want to lend a helping hand either. No one is going to come and knock on your door and say, here's land, here's this, here's that. When they see you moving and operating in the faith that you claim to have, they will bless you. This is what I'm talking about. So I don't want us to operate in fear, but in faith, because fear will have you sit on your keister and do nothing. Fear will have you twirling your thumbs or saying, well, what am I going to do? And how am I going to survive? How am I going to feed my children? How am I going to feed myself? Where am I going to lay my head? That's what fear will have you doing, questioning everything. And while you're wasting all that time doing that, you will make no efforts. Now, I want to say this, that this message is for me too. This message is for me as well. Okay? Because there are certain things that I may move on and other things I may pause on. Because I need to develop a certain level of faith to move in a certain direction as relates to some things. Now, I may move quickly on many things, but not on all things. And so, if we want the Most High to bless our efforts, we've got to put forth the faith and the effort. If we want him to bless our faith, if we want him to move on our behalf, if we want him to move on other people's hearts and minds to bless us, then we've got to make efforts towards the things that we desire to have. Because faith without works is dead. No one is going to come and donate land to a person who every time they hear about them, oh, what is so-and-so doing? Oh, he's at home taking a nap. What is so-and-so doing? Oh, he's playing video games. What is so-and-so doing? He's at the nail salon she's at the nail salon getting her nails done. What is so-and-so doing? She's at home watching TV. If no one sees you putting forth an effort, then they're not going to put forth the blessing. If you want to be blessed, put forth the effort, because faith without works is dead. We shall not operate in fear, but we shall operate in faith. Fear will have you sit still and do nothing, but faith will have you moving about doing something. Faith says, look, I got to do something. I don't care how small it is. Even if I only have $1.90 in my purse or in my wallet. My faith tells me to take that $1.90 and go buy me a pack of seeds. That's what my faith tells me to do. Now, for organic seeds, it's going to cost a little more. But just say you only have $5 and you're concerned about what are you going to do as far as food. Got a place to stay. You may be staying with a parent or something. You may be staying with a relative. But you're trying to figure out what to do. Even though you don't have much, faith will tell you, look, take that $5, go buy you a pack, some seeds, go buy some seeds. Fear will tell you, oh man, what am I going to do? Fear will have you complaining, murmuring, and grumbling, but making no efforts towards anything. Faith will have you take that $5, make some efforts, plant some seeds. You may even go and knock on some doors and say, look, hey, I'm trying to start a garden and I would like to share the food with people in the community. And I'm looking for those who don't mind just donating just a little bit just to help me towards my efforts. Let me tell you why I'm saying this or giving this as a suggestion. As a kid, our family was poor. Okay, my mom didn't have a whole lot. My stepfather, he had a decent job, but it was really just enough to pay bills. It wasn't really enough to have us wearing the finest clothes and all of that. Not that we really cared about those things because we were in survival mode back then and we understood. Me and my sister and my brother, we understood what survival mode meant. We didn't expect a whole lot because there wasn't a whole lot. We were glad to have a roof over our head. But as a young child, let me tell you what I did. I was very young, preteen, age 12, 13, for as far back as I can remember, I've always tried to do something to earn money. But because I was an artist, because I am an artist, and I can draw people's pictures and paint and different things of that nature, even though I was very shy, quiet, and just very timid and just very to myself, that's the kind of kid I was. That's the kind of kid I was. For some reason, when it came to business, I was a different person. So I said, you know what? I put it on. I put my best clothes on. I got all of my gear, some of my canvas, some of my pencils and things, just some of my art stuff, And I put on my courage, my faith, and I went door to door in a neighborhood on the west side of Detroit where I lived and in the area of my church at the time. And I just knocked on doors and I told these people, I said, look, I'm an artist. I'm trying to make some extra money. If you have a family member that you would like for me to draw, your kid, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, I don't care. I will draw it for $10, And I got a whole lot of no's. A whole lot of people say no. But I had some people say yes. Yes, indeed. I had some people say yes. And so for me, being a young person, getting a few people to give me $10 was a big deal back then for me. Having $1 was a big deal, but $10 and a few people gave me $10 and I love drawing anyway. So I said, look, Mom and my stepfather, they didn't have any money to give me, but I need some money. I'm a kid. I like things. I like to buy candy. At the time, I used to buy junk food, Whatever the reason for the money, I wanted some. And so I said, if I'm going to get some at this stage, I'm going to have to go make it myself. And so I put forth the effort. I put my faith into action. And I was prepared for those who were going to say no, but I said, somebody's going to tell me yes. And that is exactly how it happened. But see, now we're not just talking about a little kid who wants to earn some extra money. Right now, we are talking about serious business where our families are in jeopardy right now. The dollar is shrinking and is on the verge of collapse. And many of us have very hard decisions to face. Growing food, how are you going to feed your family? Food stamps being compromised. So many things taking place. So we have work to do. So it's time that we operate in faith, not in fear, and put that faith to work by putting forth an effort, being realistic, praying, doing what you have to do. If you're not sure about what to do, ask someone, hey, look, can I use your yard? Go to your grandmother, your uncle, your brother, your sister, anybody. Say, look, can I just grow some food here? It'll be for all of our benefit. I know I keep talking about this family, but we got to look at the handwriting on the wall. We have to see it for what it is. We have to see it for what it is. This economy is on the verge of collapse. And if you're not one of those who wants to get the Trump food box, if that is what he's going to go with, if you're one of those who can't get food stamps or you're worried about your food stamps being cut, if you're worried about losing your job, if you're concerned about any of those things at all, put forth the effort to energize your faith. Okay? It is time for us as a people to wake up out of the slumber that we're in. It's time for us to fortify and move in faith. And with that, I will say shalom.